Thank you for staying tuned to Radio Maria 91.3 FM. You are listening to Side by Side, where we focus on conflict, peace, and security. We shall now begin our discussion on the topic religion, conflict, and peace. Again, we have been talking with a guest in the studio, Reverend Father Atta Barkindo. He's a Catholic priest, the Executive Director of the Kuka Center, and Head of National Peace Committee Secretariat. We are also blessed with the presence of another distinguished guest in the studio, Khidir, Usacfat, Adelana. He is schooled in Islamic sciences, studied while in Tunisia. Currently, he's the academic coordinator of Al-Habibiyah and operations officer for Hajj and Umrah services. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now, our guests in the studio, we are going to do a couple of things. First of all, I would like you to give us a sense of what you have been up to as clergymen in regard of peace, conflict resolution, helping to bring security to the country. What do you do as clergyman? Let us begin with you, Father Barkindo. I know you are the Executive Director of the Kuka Center and also Head of Secretariat for the National Peace Committee. Young people are listening and could be inspired learning about what you do for our country and also for other communities.
First of all, let me just tell you my interest in this field. When I was ordained a priest, I remember I told my bishop the misunderstanding that we have regarding religion. I would like to have the permission.
So your bishop from where?
From Yola.
Okay,
from Yola.
The area matters.
Yes.
That is northeast.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Late Bishop Christopher Abba. So
yeah.
He gave me the permission to go to Egypt. And I was in Egypt for 2 years in Zamalek. Just living with Muslims, studying Arabic language, getting to understand the history, the culture of Islam. And I think for me that was...
So you are a Catholic priest?
Yes, I'm a Catholic
and yet
priest.
you lived in Egypt.
Absolutely.
Trying to understand Islam.
Absolutely. That's absolutely nothing wrong. And it gave me a better understanding. And it improved my relationship, not only with my fellow friends who are Muslims, but a deeper understanding of what the religion is about. And so when I came back, and I eventually joined the Kuka Center and I was appointed head of secretariat for the Peace Committee. One of the things we do, for example, is that we go to local communities and train people, Christians and Muslims, women, young, old, on understanding extremism, not only in Islam, but also in Christianity. People think that there's this huge perception that terrorism is always existing in Islam, but that's not the truth. If you look at, for example, the Lord's Resistance Army in Uganda, led by Joseph Kony, who is a Catholic, used to be an altar boy. Some of his fighters were rosary. He wanted to rule the whole of Uganda on the basis of the 10 Commandments. And he killed people not only in Uganda, but even in South Sudan, in Kenya, and in other places, especially Eastern Africa. So we try to train people to understand how do people misrepresent, misinform, and misunderstand or even misinterpret religious texts in order to seek power. And therefore, how do you identify and how do you provide alternative narrative? Not just counter narrative, but alternative narrative. So we train communities on overcoming the issues of violent extremism, identifying radical processes, and reporting that, up to the authorities to take charge. And provide also, for example, skills acquisition. People can live in peace, building social cohesion for communities. And we have done that in Kaduna. We have done that in Adamawa State and in some, in Borno, in Yobe. And right now we are moving down to Benue State. Even though Benue is predominantly a Christian state. But still, we have to teach them the values of interreligious dialogue and social cohesion. So these are some of the things that we do at the Kuka Center. For the National Peace Committee, of course, we help intervene in serious aspects of elections, facilitating peaceful conduct of the elections and supporting the process, especially through back-channel negotiations. Because in this country, it's not only to vote, but to actually hand over power through transition becomes another, level of discussions and mediations and, cajoling and all that. So these are some of the things that we do.
One thing I must emphasize from all you said is how to understand Islam. You didn't sit in an armchair distant from Islam. You have to stride right into Islam. You lived in Egypt, studied the language of Islam, which is Arabic. You speak Arabic very well. Interesting. Which should be a lesson to all of us. Some people say things about Islam and they have never even lived with Muslims. Some people criticize what they do not know. Understanding has to be deliberate, right? So you don't achieve mutual understanding by being distant. But let me come to you, Khidir, Usacfat, Adelana. You are academic coordinator of Al-Habibiyya and operations officer for Hajj Umrah services. What have you been about?
Well, we thank Almighty Allah for giving us this opportunity to be here this evening. First of all, let me also appreciate the effort of this particular organization and also this radio. We love this program because this is one of the ways that we can use to put ourselves together in this country by understanding each other, what we call coexistence religion aspects. When we look at Islam right from the beginning, Islam, when we see any Muslim causing any conflict or causing any war, that particular person should be also addressed as non-Muslim, to be sincere. So what we read or what we learn from Islam is all about how we will establish peace. That is what we are all after.
And that is what you have been doing.
And then when we look at all the programs organized by our Sheikh Fuad Adeyemi, it's always having an environment where both Muslim and Christian will live together, and also will work on how we will settle all the cases without any problem. So that's what most of Nigerians also should understand, and they should work towards this.
Oh, interesting. For our listeners who would want to join the conversation, and we encourage you to join the conversation, the number to call is 081 084 475 18. I'll take that number again. 081 084 475 18. You can call and make your valued contribution to the discussions in the studio. You can also call to inform of developments in your community that have to do with peace building, security challenges, and conflict. You can call to also ask questions. Okay, we have a call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me? Oh, we lost the caller. So I guess we'll continue. Let us begin with the subject matter of religion. What is religion? And let us not take it for granted that everyone understands the essence, the purpose of religion. So what is religion about? We'll begin with you, Mr. Khidir.
Alhamdulillah, when we talk about religion came to establish understanding and also to associate ourselves with Almighty Allah. During that association now, we also need to consider those who we are going to live with. Islam divided how to practice this particular journey into three. We have what we call al-ibadah, that is worship. To worship Almighty Allah. And we have what we call al-mu'amalat, that is relationship between you and other people. you must also keep it right. So we have what we call al. Now we have also what we call al-tawheed, al-aqidah. Al-aqidah means that your inner part should always be clean, always be ready to accept other people's faith. So that is three things that in Islam we must put it into consideration. The worship now is just for you to know how to move close to Almighty Allah. The mu'amalat, how you will be dealing with other people that you are living with. Islam doesn't call us to establish anything that will make other people dislike us or causing hatred in the society. Yes, no. If we look at the history of most of our Sahaba, some people converted to Islam through their behaviors, through the way they address them. So why people are just thinking other thing about religion today, or say something wrong about religion today, because the way some people are practicing this religion. Religion is to keep everything alive, keep all of us alive, also to be able to establish what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent us for.
Brilliant. Religion is understood in a tripartite sense, that it's about my relationship with God, my relationship with my fellow human being, and then the internality of my person, what happens inside of me. And in all this, the role of religion is to guide us so that relationship with God, relationship with the other person, and what happens within me is peaceful. Yeah, I'm sure you have so much to say too, Father Barkindo.
Religion is just that human effort to understand God and to relate with God, and that relationship being reflected in the way you relate with other people. So for Islam, for example, that understanding of God came through the Quranic revelation that was given to the Prophet. For the Christians, it came through the Son of God, Jesus Christ himself. But for other people who may probably be pagans, it came through the mountains and the seas. Looking at this amazing creation, it must come from somewhere. So God has revealed himself through this. There are other people through their religion is totally to reject the existence, of God. They believe that the intellect you have should lead you to. But for me, my point is not there. My point is that there is a fundamental distinction between religion and those who practice religion. Because in every religion, there is the letter and the spirit and the doctrines and the intention of those doctrines. But the way those who practice it understand those doctrines, interpret them, represent them, exploit them, that is where we really have problems. The religion in itself may have all the beautiful doctrines, the spirit of those doctrines, the intention to live in peace, the intention to relate well with other people. But when I am an adherent of that religion and I take these things, I can exploit them when I'm looking for power.
Okay, we have a caller. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me? Good morning, sir. Please, can you tell us your name and where you're calling from? Okay, Mr. Chimezie from Gwagwalada. Please go ahead and make your contribution. Yes, you are on. I can hear you, Mr. Chimezie.